It's good to see you this morning. Thank you for making the effort to come, and you that are watching at home, thank you for joining in with us. Stick with us the whole hour if you can, and maybe right now call somebody or text them and invite them to join us online. You know, with masks, it's hard to tell who I'm talking to, and so we've got several guests in the house today, but I might not know it. So if you are visiting with us in the room today, be sure I get to meet you before you leave the campus today. I want to update you on some deaths we've had in our church of senior adults, aged members, because you perhaps have not heard. Vernal Timmons passed away just this week, and there'll be a private funeral burial for him tomorrow. But there's a visitation today at Mount Castle Church Funeral Home in Woodbridge from 2 to 6 today, if you can go down there and visit that family. And then Nancy Odenhall, almost 100 years of age, passed away last week. Her funeral will be this coming Saturday at 11 o'clock, right here in this room, with a visitation at 10 o'clock right here. So if you're able to come and support that family, that would be appreciated. I've got to tell you that Friday afternoon, I grew heartsick when I heard the governor's announcement about greater restrictions because of the spike in coronavirus. And it looked like this was going to be the last Sunday we could meet like this. And, you know, we've slowly gathering people together and then to go back to zero again. Later in the day, though, upon reading the fine print, I find out that churches are exempt from that restriction as long as we follow the strictest protocol. And as I read the protocol, I immediately recognized we're already doing all of that. Now, you don't like it, but we're doing it with the temperature taking and the distancing and the masks and all of that. But that's enabling us to continue to meet. So as you are comfortable, join us for worship. That's where it stands now. We're going to continue on as we have, unless there's further notice. I invite you to take your Bibles and turn to the book of Isaiah, Isaiah chapter 6. One more sermon in the Jeopardy series. That'll be next Sunday. And then after that, it's Advent, if you can believe it. We're right at Christmas time again. The question today we're looking at is in Isaiah 6, and you'll see it immediately. You know this passage. Roger recently had us reading it together as we started our service. It's certainly a wonderful passage. Chapter 6, verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord high and exalted, seated on a throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him were seraphim, each with 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying. And they were calling one to the other, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of his glory. At the sound of their voices, the doorposts and thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Woe to me, I cried. I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty. Then one of the seraphim flew to me with a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with tongs from the altar. With it he touched my mouth and said, See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying to me, and here's the question. Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And I said, Here am I, send me. The word of the Lord for the people of God today. Thanks be